Welcome back to the Mirrored Experience podcast. I am so glad to be here with you today. Today's topic is around grief and gratitude and how journaling can support you through that. Now, Bear, as you can see in the background, my book um, was started with a journal. And a part of that story is my life growing up in foster care and adoption, which is surrounded by my mom, who at the time was a heroin addict. And her choices um, gave me some situations in my life that were filled with grief at times too. But missing her, with her getting her life together and getting clean, and being one of the most incredible grandmothers that I have ever seen, it stirs up a lot of grief and gratitude. I'm grateful for the time we got back after I got out of foster care and she came back in my life. I'm grateful for the time she got to spend with my kids and then be a part of their childhood, even though she couldn't fully be a part of all of mine. But then there's the grief that I miss her immensely. We were best friends. We laughed, we talked, we danced, we prayed together. So this season stirs up a lot for me. And I'm also grateful to be a mom, to be surrounded by my children who share their affections and love for me regularly. And Mother's Day is always special. Even my brothers make Mother's Day special for me. So there is a lot of grief and gratitude during this season for me. And how Bear became about is with a simple journal. I just started putting my life on paper, um, significant moments I remembered, significant moments I wanted to share, significant moments that arose as I was writing it, significant moments that came up for me as I journeyed through old stories and experiences. It all started with one journal. That's it. Yes. So journaling can hold your grief and your gratitude. And I want you to know that even though this episode and topic may be tender, it's honest and deeply human. We're talking about journaling. Simple paper and pen. It can hold your emotions. And we often feel like we have to hide those emotions, but around Mother's Day, it's even more difficult, I think. And whether you have lost your mother, you never knew her, you're still blessed to have her, or you're carrying grief around miscarriage, infertility, or simply longing to be a mom, this episode is for you. So let's explore how grief and gratitude can both exist in our story and how journaling can be safe and a sacred place to hold all those emotions. I like to say that talking about it matters, but sometimes you can't talk about it. So, what do? Well, journaling isn't a dear diary stuff, it is a spiritual and emotional practice. And when it comes to seasons like Mother's Day, where your heart might be holding opposite emotions at once, journaling can give you those feelings room to live outside of you and let you breathe. So here's what I learned about journaling over writing my book and just putting pen to paper. Writing has always been an outlet for me, whether it be poetry, essays, stories, doodling, whatever it is, it's been an outlet. The one thing that the page does not do is talk back. It is a judgment free zone. So you can lay it all out and you don't have to hear anybody's opinion about it. You don't have to be judged about it, whether you're angry, happy, or sad, frustrated, feeling betrayed, feeling forgotten, whatever the emotions that arise, especially around Mother's Day, putting it on the page has no judgment. Another thing that happens is that it slows your soul down. Yes, you can actually hear your feelings because you're putting it down and seeing it and being able to express beyond happy, glad, sad, or mad. You can feel all the feels on the page with no judgment. And then there's my favorite space is that it allows for both and. Yes, you can miss her and you can be grateful for her in the same sentence. I know, I know. And it also creates a record of hope. You're longing, you're desiring, one that helps you remember how far you've come. Past the grief, past the pain. Maybe the pain is still tender, but you still get up and move through it with hope and desire. On the page, it still has room for freedom and to breathe. That's another reason why I wrote the Bear Companion Journal. It was created for exactly this purpose, to hold the unspoken, to walk you through the silence and celebration. Some of the prompts inside were created even during my own grief, and others came from places of peace. That's why they matter. For example, after this episode, you could sit down with a blank sheet of paper and a pen, whatever your preference, notebook, no notebook, digital. But I'm a pen and paper girl, and then I go digital. But two prompts I could share with you today that may be helpful, that are not in the journal, but may be helpful for this season for you is, what memory is both beautiful and bittersweet today? And the other one is, where is God inviting you to feel, not just function? Because we can move through things, and sometimes we just want to get over the pain because we want to control our emotions, or we feel like we shouldn't be crying or sad. Just opposed to like my situation, I do have three incredible children, but I did also suffer miscarriage. So I can grieve that child and my mom, but still be grateful to be a mom and the memories I have with my mom and experiencing the children I have today here on earth that love me. So it can be a both and. And I don't have to push past what I feel at any given moment, no matter what the situation, Mother's Day or not. Whatever the situation, I don't have to just be a high functioning, um, letting myself push past it and feel the feelings. Feelings may not be facts, but they are valid. So what's the solution? What can you do this week to begin letting your journal hold what your mouth cannot or may not be ready to say? Well, here's three options. There's several, but here's three. You could write a letter to someone you lost, to your child you hoped for, to your mother, even if she never was fully there, or to yourself, whether it be yourself today or your future self, where you could go back and refer to it. Let it be messy. Let it be honest. The page can take it. You could record your gratitude, not just for the obvious things, but for the ways you've survived. The women who mothered you without being your mom, because prayerfully we were all blessed with somebody that showed up for us. And the strength you've shown in silence. Sometimes we sit alone with our truth, and community is a place to find release, even if you don't share all the details. Your gratitude doesn't have to cancel your grief, they can sit side by side. And the third offer is pray on the page. Prayer is one of my gifts, and it is my sacred conversation with God. Even when I'm angry, even when I failed, even when I feel like I made the mistake or I needed the support, prayer is always a great place to start. You can write your prayers, you can write your questions, you can write your confusion. God can handle it. You can write the name you whispered in the dark. You can ask God to meet you in the lines between what was and what could be. So yes, let's go back. Those three are: you could write a letter, you could record your gratitude, and you can pray on the page. Now I know I have some people in my life who struggle with writing things down for whatever reason. Part of their conditioning doesn't allow for that. But I would invite you to let that be your sacred space where you let it live outside of you. And then you can reflect on it as you grow, as you evolve, as you heal, as you take this journey, especially through the seasons of Mother's Day. Also, you can refer back to it to see how far you've grown from Mother's Day to Mother's Day, from season to season, and give yourself grace. You have never met this version of yourself. Every day we are changing and evolving, and this is a place for you to do that. So, my friend, if you are walking through this Mother's Day with a heart that's full but fractured, I want you to know you're not alone. And you don't have to figure it all out. Just start writing. The Bear Companion Journal was made for this, to hold your whispers, your worship, and your wondering. It's available now for pre order. It launches May 9th, and that is shortly approaching. So I would say get your copy now. Gift it to someone who needs a soft place to land. Maybe yourself, or maybe a friend or a family member who needs it as well. And if you haven't read Bear yet, the original book, this is a beautiful time to start. So get both in a bundle and give yourself or someone you love the gift of presence, healing, and wholeness. Share this episode with a woman who needs to know her story is sacred. And remember, you can grieve and you can grow. And until next time, love well.